that we saw 20 years ago and 10 years ago. It's just the way that it is. Think Leisure Suit Larry and Duke Nukem, right? It's the way that it's always been in many ways. So I find that problematic in many ways. And when women are hypersexualized, often the way that that gets covered up is that they enact traditional male gender roles, right? They have lots of guns, they're blowing things up. They've got the witty retorts and the lines from the action movies, right? They're doing all these kinds of things that are traditional maleness, right? Or that we think of as coming from generally male speech communities. In other words, they have to kind of sweep under the rug the fact that this woman could be a person with more dimensions than just one because she's hypersexualized. And I find a real problem with that. Anyway, obviously I could talk about that all day too. Save Me Bigfoot talked about the idea of the stereotype of the knowledgeable gamer guy working in a game store. People come in and they just flock right to him and say, hey, can you help me with this? Because certainly if there's a woman that works at a gaming store, why would I ask them? There's got to be some kind of stigma about that. You know, I thought about this one because I didn't know what to think about it. This was one of those things that came way out of left field for me. It's been a long time since I've been inside a video game store and saw a woman working there. Part of that's because I don't go into video game stores often. But I had to think about what it would be like if I walked into a gaming store and there was a woman there. Would I ask her for help in the same way that I would ask for a man for help? I got to tell you, I don't think I would react differently, but at the same time, I see that these things happen subconsciously sometimes. So it's an interesting observation, and I think it's a good thing to talk about. Really cool idea. I think there is a reason. There is method behind this madness too. There is. Never take something just for granted. Let's dissect a little bit and try to figure out what this means. I think it also means that there is still the perception of society, even for those of us that have been gamers our entire lives, of which most of you have, that video gaming is dominated by men. That gamers are men that happen to speak with lisps and wear glasses and live in their mom's basement, right? I mean, that is the perception. So when you walk into a game store, you kind of expect to see a stereotype get enacted. And I think we're comfortable as long as we're moving forward with that kind of stereotype. Right? Right. Interesting stuff. However, I think there's got to be more to it than that, right? I hope that gets broken up, and I hope that's not something that continues because I really enjoy it. I really enjoy spending time talking to all kinds of people. You guys know this. This is why you're here. I enjoy talking to all kinds of people about video gaming. I love it. It's fantastic. I love talking with men about video games. I love talking with women about video games. Sometimes I like talking with women about video games more just because there are so fewer of them for us to really go and engage with. One of the reasons I love going to PAX. It's great to see women, talking about games in the same way that I would talk about video games. That is a great thing. So, let's break that stereotype, guys. If you go into a game store, go talk to the female associate just as much as you talk to the male associate. I think that's a big part of it. There's no reason to enact that, and I think we should get rid of it.